So for as long as I can remember, the two benchmarks that every other car, kind of in the car journalism world, gets compared to is the BMW M3 and the Porsche 911. Now, my whole life I've always been a huge fan of both of these cars. They definitely fall in the ultimate dream car category for me. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to buy one of those ultimate dream cars, and that is what I'm sitting in now is my 2022 BMW M3 Competition xDrive. Now, if you guys are trying to get one of these, you'll know they're very hard to come by. I actually ordered one back in February. When I bought the Raptor at the end of March, I ended up canceling that order. And then how I came to purchase this particular car is that same dealership I ordered from. They had somebody order that turns out was like on a no-sell list, exporter or something like that. Nobody checked it when they took the order, and they didn't actually check that out until the car was complete and on the boat shipping over here. So I was on a list of people to call. I was actually the first person they called. I knew what kind of a rare opportunity it was. I wasn't super psyched to sell the Raptor because I did really enjoy having that truck. Ended up trading it, ended up getting into this, and I'm super psyched to have it. I've had it just about 3 weeks now. I'm about 650 miles on the odometer, so just a little bit over halfway to the 1,200 mile break-in period. I'll be taking it in for that service here pretty soon. I've been driving it quite a bit here recently, just trying to get up to that end of the break-in period, because it's I mean, this thing is powerful and it's super fun, and it's pretty difficult to kind of keep it under control when you know you're still in the break-in period. But that'll be over soon. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know it was right about a year ago I bought a 2022 X3 Competition, so that will allow me to do some kind of interesting comparisons between this and that. They're both kind of the same platform, but to me, very different vehicles when you're driving them and owning them. All right, we're gonna take a drive later. I'm gonna talk about some of my thoughts on the driving. But first, I'm just gonna do a quick tour around the car, kind of show you guys my spec. All right, so starting at the front here, you'll see I got the frozen dark gray metallic, I believe is the name of the paint color. So it's a custom paint color, which makes it a little more of a rare spec, which was one of the things that kind of made me jump on it, because to me, between that and having the BMW 50-year emblems, that's going to make it a little bit rare. So hopefully a little bit of appreciation on this car over the next couple of years. They checked pretty much all the options, whoever ordered it. So you see you've got the external carbon fiber in the front, you've got the laser lights, you got the black wheels, 19s in the front and 20s in the rear. You've got the M3 Competition badge here on the side vent, carbon fiber on the mirror caps, carbon fiber roof. You'll see, on the I love the M3 body because it just looks so aggressive here. And I think the matte paint makes the body lines look even more aggressive. So on the back, you've got the carbon fiber deck lip here, M3 Competition badge back here, and then the quad tip exhaust. And you can see there's a lot of carbon fiber here on the rear splitter, which makes it look extra aggressive. So coming into the interior, it has the Fiona red full leather option. You can see some red up on the dash there, full leather on top of the dash. So I actually wouldn't have optioned the Fiona red. That's probably the only option on this car I wouldn't have picked. But I actually think it looks really good and makes this car just pop a little bit more and look a little bit more special. And I think it fits it because it's kind of a track car, race car, what have you. Now, about the only option they didn't get is the carbon fiber buckets. I know those look really good, but me being 6'5", 250, that's an option I'm glad that didn't come with it, because From what I understand, I just probably wasn't going to be able to fit in those seats very well. So pretty much this is perfectly spec'd. Love all the carbon fiber inside and outside. Yeah, I don't think anything really else to mention on the spec. Let's go ahead and get in and drive it. Alright guys, so we're off in the M3. I am loving everything about this car. As I said, you know, about 6 months ago I'd had the X3M as well, so it's kind of interesting to compare and contrast those. I think the biggest difference that kind of strikes me is the suspension in this feels a lot better than it did in the X3M. In the X3M, if you put it in comfort mode versus like Sport Plus, it felt pretty much the same to me. If it was in comfort, it didn't really feel like it was something driving in comfort mode. It still just felt, you know, pretty stiff, and you pretty much felt every bump on the road. And this, it feels a little bit different in that if you put it in comfort, it's gonna actually kind of absorb the bumps and smooth the ride out a little bit, which I didn't get from the X3M, so that's kind of a nice difference. So with this sitting a lot lower, it feels a lot more driver focused. Not that there was a lot of body roll in the X3M. I mean, like I said, they kept that pretty stiff to eliminate that. But this just, you can't really get all the way there with an SUV like you can with a little sedan like this. So I've been really impressed with this and the driving experience. This is really, so this really lives up to the name for, you know, BMW for the ultimate driving machine, and do not regret my purchase at all. The only bummer, like I said, is I'm not all the way through the break-in period, so haven't got to fully enjoy it. From what I understand, you're just not supposed to go super hard on it, kind of keep it under 4,000 RPMs, and it's already kind of fun down there, so I can't imagine, you know, how much fun it's going to be driving once we get past that break-in period, get the service done, and get the full go of it. So new for the G80, as we all know, is the option to get xDrive, which this car has. So all-wheel drive. I believe the F80s were already pretty good with traction, even being rear-wheel drive. There wasn't, you know, like a ton of drama there, but this thing is just so capable. It feels like, you know, anything you throw at it's going to be able to handle with ease. Unless you're on a track, I really don't think you're going to get anywhere close to the limits on this thing. So it is, I mean, it is a pretty big car. It's got room for the whole family in it, which is nice. And then at the same time, you really can't tell that this is a bigger car. It just feels like a sports car, when in reality it's a four-door sedan. I mean, for me, the practicality of that is awesome in that you can just have, you know, one vehicle that can do it all. You know, as you know, before I had the X3M and the M2. You know, having two vehicles isn't ideal, but they were both kind of good at what they did. To me, this is a really good combination of those two vehicles, and like I said, practicality for me wins out, and, you know, just having to have and maintain one vehicle versus two. So just like the X3M, the sounds this thing makes from the exhaust is pretty awesome. I know, you know, you put a different exhaust on it, it's going to make it sound a lot better, but from the factory you're getting something that's already pretty great, and you don't have to mess with it. right, guys, well, that's going to wrap up what I had for today. I'm super pumped to be back into a BMW M car. These are, hands down the favorite cars I've owned, and after owning a ton of different vehicles, this is definitely my favorite, and glad to have one back in the garage. I'll be putting out more videos to review this in the future after I've had some more time with it and gotten it broken in, and just kind of let you guys know how the ownership experience is going. I'm not going to promise any kind of video consistency or anything between work and family. Just not a ton of time to put out these car videos. I am considering starting a second channel and doing more kind of software development related content, because that's what I do day to day. So it's a lot easier for me to make content on that subject, which that's not what I've done up to this point on this channel. And we've grown in subscribers, and I don't want to put stuff on this channel that people didn't subscribe to. So considering creating a second channel for that. So if I do, I'll be sure and post a link to that on this channel. If you're interested in that, be sure to keep an eye out for that. So that kind of is on my future plans. We'll see how that works out. All right, well, if you guys made it to the end of the video, as always, appreciate you guys watching and tuning in today. Be sure and like and subscribe below if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one.